Okay, hi everyone. So today we'll be looking at this very interesting question from Chung Cheng. Okay, it's a Sec 4 A Math question. Okay, maybe some of you Sec 3s will have learned this already. Okay, so it's a question on Trigo graphs. Okay, but they use application. So it will seem quite intimidating, but if you are clear with your fundamentals, okay, this question is actually not as difficult as it looks, okay? So as what I tell all my students, okay, you just have to read the question carefully and fish out important details, okay? So let us see, we have this person's blood pressure and it's being modeled by this sine curve, okay, and they give information, okay, that Y is, okay, the milliliters of mercury, then T is the blood pressure at that particular time, T is time, and it's measured in minutes, okay, K is positive, okay. So the first clue they have is that the max BP, okay, is 120 millimeters of mercury. Okay, then they say find the value of K. So we're given this Y. Okay, so what this means is that maximum, the keyword is maximum. When you have this type of Trigo graph and they ask you for minimum or maximum, you need to immediately think of this concept of principal values. Okay, of which sine, okay, lies between -1 and 1 inclusive, okay, where -1 is your minimum and then +1 is your maximum bound. Okay, so when they say they want maximum blood pressure, it will mean that, okay, so what I'll write is that since max, maybe I won't say since, maybe I'll say for max blood pressure, okay, the value of our sine 5 pi t will be 1. Okay, then I'll just substitute the rest of the values in. So it'll be K times 1 plus 100. And they said that the maximum blood pressure is 120. So it's 120. So from here we have found that K is equal to 20. Okay, then next state the minimum blood pressure. So for minimum blood pressure, so I'm writing these statements not only to help in the marking, but it's to remind myself of what I'm doing. Okay, every step I'm doing is logical. Okay, in this case it will be -1, so it will just be negative K, so it's K times -1 plus 100 equals to Y. But in this case our K is 20, so it is -20 plus 100. So my minimum blood pressure will be 80 millimeters of mercury. Okay, alright, next part here, state the period of Y. So period is always 360 degrees divided by coefficient of this unknown over here. Alright, but in this case it's in terms of pi, so we will say 2 pi divided by our 5 pi. This is 2 over 5, which is 0.4. That means what period means is the length of one cycle. Okay. Okay, and the range is given over here. Okay, and they want a number of cycles. To find number of cycles is just taking the whole boundary of the range, which is 0.6, because 0 to 0.6 inclusive. So the total is 0.6, and I'll divide it by the period in order to find out how many cycles I have. So this would be 1.5. Okay, so what this means is that I will be drawing, okay, so what this means, right, is that I will be drawing 1.5 sine graphs. Okay, meaning that, you know, a classic sine graph will be like that, right? This is 1 and then another half. It should look something like that. Okay, so this is what I should get. Okay, this is the general idea. Okay, so with that in mind, we've finished part 2. Okay, so now we will get into drawing. So when you draw your Trigo graph, right, alright, always have your axis labeled properly. Be very careful in this case. While this is y, this is not x, okay? It is time, so it will be t, okay? And they want us to draw for this range over here. So you must have your maximum, minimum, okay? You must have values of 0 to 0.6. So this is what we're looking out for. And before we start drawing, we also need the axis of curve. So this is our axis of curve, which is y equals to 100. So I will have one line over here. So the axis of curve is to help us, it serves as a marking to cut the curve into two equal parts. Okay, so I'll just start drawing. So I know that when t is 0, y is 100. Okay, so I will start from here. Okay, I'll mark a point here. Okay, and they said that the length of one cycle is 0.4, so it's a period, right? So that means one period is up to 0.4, so it should look like this. Okay, so I will join up the points very carefully. Okay, it's easier to do this on paper, so just try to draw this nicely. Okay, so that's one cycle. So remember, we're left with half of it, right? So we have to finish up to this 0.6 over here. So I'll just follow the pattern again. This 0.5 is up here. Okay, then this 0.6 is over here. Okay, now I'll just finish this up. Alright, and done. So this will be our y equals to, k is 20 sine 5 pi t plus 100. Okay, so I hope this video helps you to revise your concept on Trigo graphs, and it shows that whilst this question seems a bit more niche, okay, it is possible once we actually break down the question and save out all the important information.